Hello, welcome back to my channel. Before we start today's video, I wanted to say thank you to all of you who watched and supported me. I hope you are enjoying watching my videos as much as I am making them for you. Acacia and Jairus Kersey have done many disingenuous things during their time together, individually or as a couple. And today I want to talk about 4 specific offenses. As always, the sources I use will be linked in the description. Before we talk about it, I wanted to say that I know nothing about law or legal matters, so I'm going to try and explain everything to the best of my ability. On May 29, 2016, a video called Moving Day was posted to the Acacia and Jairus channel, where they talked about moving into a house in Santa Clarita and showed it off.
Morning!
It's a pretty exciting / weird / confusing day for me. We are moving into our new house, so that's pretty cool. We've always wanted to live in a house, so I'm very excited about that.
It's a great shot, babe.
City of Santa Clarita.
It's so great.
They moved into the house a couple of weeks before the vlog was posted, as seen on Acacia's Instagram. On June 16th, the infamous Yuna, where Acacia makes fun of Jairus and his mom's cooking, happened.
Who's the better cook? Me.
That's you, dude.
Sorry, man.
Why?
I have cooking born into my genes. But anyway, what I was saying about me being a better cook, I was born into it. Both my parents are extraordinary cooks. Jairus' mom's a cook. She's not a very good cook, but she's a cook. Babe, do you remember that one time your mom made enchiladas and she used Asian white rice?
On June 25th, Acacia said Jairus went to visit his family in Oregon and even pretended she was there with him. On July 8th, it was clear Jairus wasn't coming back. On July 22nd, Acacia's landlord, IHR Property West, filed an unlawful detainer complaint against Acacia through the courts of LA, and summons were issued and filed. This means she was occupying a property without legal right, and an official notice of a lawsuit was filed. On July 25th, Jairus posted about moving on, and Acacia posted about her days being filled with love. On August 7th, Jairus was posting with a girl in his lap, kissing him. The next day, Acacia posted about moving to Oregon, in tweets where she says, "New home." Less than a week later, on August 11th, Acacia got pregnant. At the end of August, on the 31st, a few things happened. Acacia got served a proof of service of summons, default entered, and request for entry of judgment was filed. This means that Acacia received the document confirming that she was served summons. Default means that the defendant, in this case Acacia, failed to answer the complaint, plead or defend, and through request for entry of judgment, Acacia had time to file an appeal. In September, an application for writ of possession was filed and issued, meaning that IHR Property West now had permission to evict Acacia officially. It seems that Acacia followed Jairus to Oregon without notifying her landlord or bothering to end her lease agreement after occupying the home for a month without paying for it. On October 6th, Acacia and Jairus posted their pregnancy announcement and a few more videos during this time.
It's times like it's not, it's times like
Oh, whip it. Whip it and spritz it. Nice.
There's baby chickens in there. Sorry guys, I tilted the camera down because I didn't want to point it at little kids. I'm wearing my rain boots.
Alright, so we made it to the pumpkin patch. Let's do this. Baby clothes.
This is $2. Our baby's born in May. It's gonna need something like this.
On October 28th, 3 more documents were filed with the LA courts, which allowed the case to be judged and dismissed fully with the ability to reopen it once it is closed. The final judgment happened on November 15th and found Acacia owing almost $10,000 to IHR Property West in due rent, damages, attorney fees, and costs. Restitution of premises was also granted, meaning the leasing company now could rightfully take their property back. Instead of paying her rent or ending the lease agreement once she left, Acacia decided to just leave the property and let the rental company and courts figure out what to do with it while wasting their time and money. It's unknown if Acacia ever attended any of her court dates or paid the $10,000 she owns. Knowing Acacia's character, she most likely didn't. On May 24, 2017, just 10 days after the birth of their first daughter, Acacia and Jairus posted a vlog titled Baby Goes Swimming. In this vlog, Jairus says that he missed a test to renew his driver's license and will have to continue driving illegally for another 3 weeks.
So I had a driver's test today because my license expired and I had to go retake the test. And it was at like 9 o'clock or something like that. And I was so distracted that I missed it. And now I gotta wait like 3 more weeks. Which means I gotta drive illegally again.
On the whole internet.
Sorry guys, I'm a real thug.
I just can't drive. I'm not allowed to.
She not allowed to.
Doctor.
By this point, Jairus had been living in Oregon for almost a year. He had time to renew his driver's license at any point, but chose to wait until his daughter was born to do it. This means he's been driving a pregnant woman and later a newborn baby without a license and admitting about it in a vlog. According to Jerry Car Insurance Company, in Oregon, driving without a valid license is a Class B traffic violation and carries a fine of $135 to $1,000. A convicted driver will also be prohibited from obtaining a driver's license for at least 180 days. While this is not the worst thing that could happen, in my opinion, a fine and prohibition from driving is not worth risking when you have a newborn. The fact that Jairus had almost a whole year to renew his license and chose not to shows how irresponsible he is. And Acacia asking him not to tell the whole internet shows she accepts this and will cover for him when needed. In September of 2019, the Kerseys went on a road trip to Disneyland in California. At this point, they had 2 daughters. Acacia shared their packing list for the trip, which included weed, right next to snacks for her kids. When someone commented on this, Acacia said they bring it because whoever's not driving will smoke to help them sleep. Not only are they choosing to smoke next to their small children, transporting weed across state lines falls under drug trafficking. According to an article by Road Affair, transporting from one weed legal state to another weed legal state, such as from Oregon to California, can put you in serious legal trouble. The borders between these 2 states, as well as the interstate highways, can fall under federal jurisdiction, and weed remains illegal federally. This applies to traveling by plane as well as by car. The consequences for this depend on how much you are carrying, whether it is your first offense, and the nature of the stop. The DEA officially states that even for a first offense, transporting less than 50 kilograms of marijuana can merit a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. Even if a federal officer is in a good mood and chooses to let you go, your weed, and by extension your money, will almost certainly be confiscated. So the Kerseys chose to commit a federal offense with 2 small children in the car while bragging about it on Twitter. This one is her recent preset scandal in July of 2021. Acacia released a summer pack of presets, which are photo filters, that she sold on a website called Gumroad. Not long after the pack was put up for sale, a creator by the name of Ash Levy, who has a brand called Cherry Photo Club, exposed Acacia for buying her presets, copying the settings, and reselling them as her own. Ash spoke about this on her Instagram story, and when Acacia failed to address the situation publicly in a proper way, Ash was forced to make a video talking about what happened to her.
Like, I didn't want a big thing. I just wanted to reach out and be like, hey, not cool, like, not cool. So that's what I did, and immediately was met with a response that I feel like wasn't cool. We talked all day long. It started off as like, no, I didn't do that, and then it came to like, it must have been an accident, and eventually, obviously, it was a lot of anxiety surrounding the whole situation. Recently, I had another large creator, Acacia Kersey, some of you may know her as Acacia Brinley, steal my presets. She didn't steal them, she purchased them herself under her name. And she put them up as her own and acted like she had worked really hard on them, pretty much. I called her out for this, and the whole situation has been weird energy from the beginning, and I'm just not happy with how things are going and how she's handled this. She basically, I think, just wants it to kind of blow over and she can go back to being an influencer. But I just personally feel like she's twisting the narrative a little bit. She's definitely trying to take control of how she's being perceived online by her 2 million plus followers. She has already asked me privately to not share our private messages, but I feel at this point I don't owe her that courtesy and that respect, and I normally would grant that to anybody who asked me to not share messages, but this is just not one of those times, unfortunately. And the truth obviously is in the DMs, my DMs with her.
The full video is linked below, and I recommend watching it to understand the situation better. Acacia was comfortable taking Ashley's work and reselling it as her own, with no consideration for the well-being of the person she stole from, or her fans, who she tricked into buying someone else's work, repackaged as her own. All of this while openly copying Ash's look and aesthetic, which was very obvious. Ash's work and brand is protected by copyright law, which is a form of protection of artists' and creators' work and regulates how it is controlled. I talked about it in the past, but the original creator always has the right to decide how their material is used, distributed, reproduced, and displayed. According to Oregon Institute of Technology, anyone found liable for civil copyright infringement may be ordered to pay actual damages for the amount of between $750 and $30,000 per work infringed. For willful infringement, a court may award up to $150,000 per work infringed. Willful copyright infringement can also result in criminal penalties, including imprisonment of up to 5 years and fines of up to $250,000 per offense. This means that if Ash presses charges against Acacia, she will face a large fine and 5 years of imprisonment. If Acacia's mistake was genuine, she would apologize and refund everyone regardless of what time zone they were in when she took down her pack.
Comments, it seems like your followers want a refund and for the pack to be taken down too. She says everyone who purchased before they were removed and wanted a refund came forward and they received one. So she's making people message her for refunds, which since filming my other video, I've been sent screenshots of people messaging her asking for a refund because they'd rather support me instead. And she comes back with like, what time zone do you live in, to see if they bought the preset pack before she removed the original 7 presets.
But instead, she chose to keep most of the money she made and take a few months break off social media. Acacia Brinley is clearly not the innocent, holistic, optimistic mama she pretends to be on the internet. Besides these 4 instances, Acacia offered other products and services in the past that ended up to be scams. her most recent one being her Patreon, which she seems to be done with because the link to it is gone from her Instagram bio. Somehow, her fans continue to fall for her schemes again and again and blindly support her life while getting low-quality content and minimal effort in return. Acacia continues trying to avoid the consequences of her actions, and even after pretending to change, she continues repeating the same patterns. What do you think about the way Acacia and Jairus are able to get away with so much and feel comfortable being public about it? Personally, I don't think either of them should be influencers or role models to anybody. Thank you for watching this video and spending time with me. I'll see you next time.